They lied to you. You don't need to train 6 days a week and spend all your time in the gym in order for you to get in shape or become buff. If I can just take a guess at the type of person you are, you've probably always wanted to get in shape or you've always wanted to go into the gym. However, spending 6 days a week at the gym, working out every single day probably seemed like a waste of time or just like an intimidating thing to do. You don't want to just go from chilling every day to spending 6 days a week training every single day, right? So that's probably kept you from getting in shape because you believed that you had to train up to here in order to see results. But really, you can do this much and see just as many results. I used to be the type of person who would train 6 days a week, 2 hours a day. And yet when I switched over to this very simple program, I was able to keep my gains and, as a matter of fact, get in better shape than what I used to be. And I feel so much better. So I'm hoping that this video will help encourage you to get into the gym after you realize, hey, I really did get lied to. Like all the propaganda that was shown to me on TV, that was all nonsense because I don't have to train every single day in order to see results, in order to get shape. And I just know that this was such a painful thing for you to witness because it was probably damn, I wish I could look like that guy, or I wish I could look like that guy. And then you were just like, damn, but I just don't have the time. And it probably sucked, right? But I'm hoping that this video teaches you exactly what you need to do in order to get back that body that you've always wanted, or just start getting in shape again. Now, I'm going to be telling you guys 3 things that you guys need to do in order to maximize the amount of growth that you can get in the least amount of time. Okay, I understand that you might be a busy person. Maybe you have kids, maybe you have a job, and you have long hours. So it's not really applicable for you to be going to the gym 2 hours a day, right? Because after work, you need to go home. You need to go home and eat. You need to go home and spend time with the wife. You need to go home and spend time with the kids. Or maybe you just want to chill on your own, right? So this is the 3-step formula that I'm going to give you guys, and I'm going to write it down right now. All right. Step number 1 is learning about a full body split. Now, a full body split just means that you train your whole body when you go to the gym. Okay. A lot of people, they go to the gym, they train either one muscle per day, or they decide to go to the gym and train, for example, chest, shoulders, and back, or chest, shoulders, and triceps. I think that especially if you're short on time, the best thing to do is for you to go to the gym and then train your whole body. And I'm going to be telling you exactly how to do it and how to structure it. So the first thing that we need to worry about is speed and effectivity, right? We don't want to just go to the gym and do some bullshit and then go home and just because it was quick, right? You want to go to the gym, do it fast, and still see results. So we're trying to minimize the amount of time versus the amount of results that we get. We want more results for less time. And we just want to get that exact perfect ratio. So how do we do this? All right. So the full body split takes somewhere between from 40 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes, depending on your own pace. All right. If you're in a rush, you could really get this down in 30 minutes, even in a rush, right? And you're training super hard. If you have a little bit more time, you can take an hour, right? But the thing that you need to know is that this is a really short time for you to be working out, but it will yield you the most amount of results. And on top of that, a proper full body split will be programmed in such a way that it allows you to have rest days on top of your program. So you don't even have to go to the gym every day, right? For example, you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? A proper program will allow you to go, for example, Monday, Tuesday is a rest day, Wednesday, Thursday you skip, Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday are off, which literally means 3 days a week will help you get into the best shape of your life. Now, there's a lot of ways that people don't program the full body effectively and they end up just doing too much or they end up hurting themselves. I'm going to be giving you guys the best way to program it, but I must tell you guys that if you guys want a custom program built to your specific needs where it's tailored to you exactly, you can hire me as a personal coach or you can buy my program. Either one of those, I will be personally customizing it to your needs specifically. So if you can only be in the gym for 30 minutes, I got you. If you can be in the gym for an hour, I got you. If you have certain time restraints or certain things that get in the way of your life, I got you. I'll be able to work around your whole schedule and be able to figure out a program effective for you. However, because this is a free video, I'm going to be doing my best to give you information. Although it's going to be generalized, you can still apply it if you use your brain. So 3 days a week, that's how much we're training, all right? Now, of course, you can decide to just like skip the 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, but I'm assuming that you'd like that time just to be able to recover. Now that you know that you're going to be training 3 days a week, we need to talk about what you're going to be doing. All right. The most effective thing for you to do, and I recommend you search up all these terms on your own. Actually, I'll just give them to you. So that way, I'm trying to give you the most bang of your buck for this video. So the thing that you have to know is you only need one set per muscle group as long as you train it hard, okay? Now, what do I mean by this? So a set just means the exercise, the amount of times that you do a single exercise within a program, right? So for example, when I'm doing chest press, if I do it twice and like I rest and then I do it, then I'm doing 2 sets. If I do it once and then I go to another exercise, that's 1 set. So we're going to be doing 1 set per muscle group, all right? You can do 2 sets for a muscle group that you're specifically trying to grow, because the more intention that you put into a muscle, the more it'll grow. So what I do is I do 2 sets for chest, 2 sets for side delts, and then the rest are 1 set. And this is just what I've noticed helps me. But of course, you're short on time, so maybe it's best if you just skip that and you do 1 set. So 1 set per muscle group, right? See, we got it written down right there. Now, the thing that you need to know is you need to train to failure on all of these, right? Or at least, as a matter of fact, you're probably a beginner, so training to failure is the best thing for you right now. Now, training to failure is as simple as you go until you can't go anymore. But there's a little bit of a dilemma with that, because you need to be going with a heavy weight until you can't anymore. And a lot of beginners struggle with this, so I'm going to tell you exactly how you do that. So in order for you to see failure, right, you're gonna pick a weight that's challenging. For example, if this is your first time going to the gym, start small, right? However, just feel your way up. Like the first day of the gym, it's gonna take a bit longer because you need to figure out exactly what you need to do, right? So you go to the gym the first day, you pick up the 40-pound dumbbells, right? You do them, and if you can do more than 12 reps, and 12 reps is just the amount of times that you do the exercise. If you can do it for more than 12 reps, then you need to increase the weight, right? This time you go to 40 pounds and you do it for 6 reps, for example. And by the 6th rep, you're really like shaking, you're struggling, and you get it, right? This means that you went to failure. So now you know that, okay, I need to be doing that weight next time I come into the session. Now, I keep a logbook. I have a video on this on my channel, but keep a logbook that'll allow you to track what you do. So now that you know exactly how much weight you need to be picking, you're gonna go, for example, that first chest. The first chest might be a incline press. So you're gonna go to failure on it, but you're gonna stay within the 8 to 12 rep range, which means 8 is the minimum amount of sets that you should do, but 12th rep, you should be knocked out. You cannot like push anymore. I'm genuinely talking about, like, if you try to push, you will die. Gun to your mother's head, you cannot get that weight. That is the type of motivation that you need. So once you can't do it anymore, you're finished, right? And then from there, you simply go to the next exercise, right? So for the next exercise, for example, you have, let's say you have like side delts, right? Because this is what I do. You have side delts. You rest for 1 minute in between the set just so you can catch your breath, right? And then you go to a warm up. Always warm up before you do an exercise, because especially since you're doing 1 set to failure, you don't want to injure yourself. So warm up, and then you're gonna take 1 minute rest between the next transition. So when you go to side delts, you're gonna rest 1 minute before you start anything. Then you're gonna do a warm up, light warm up. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. You're not trying to go to failure on this one. You're literally just trying to get blood flowing to the muscles. So once you do that, you're gonna rest 1 more minute, and then you're gonna do the amount, and then you're gonna do that 1 set that you need. And for side delts, for example, I suggest 8 to 12. 8 to 12 is generally what I always suggest. However, you might have your specific needs, or you might have an injury, or you might have something allocated towards you that needs to be addressed. So like I was saying earlier, this is where the personal training comes into mind. So then the next set, you wait 1 minute and then you just repeat this cycle, right? And basically all you want to do is hit every single body part. Now, the exercises that I recommend, everybody is different, so unfortunately I can't exactly tell you an exercise selection, but I suggest that you stick to, for example, machines, and you just make your own, okay? This might take a little bit of research though. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna give it to you guys. I don't care. Okay, so the muscles that we do have are, I'm gonna start off like this, basically what I do. We got chest, side delts, front delts. Now this is just a generalization, right? Some people might have needs specific tailored to them. For example, if you want to look more aesthetic, you're going to want to train your rear delts instead of just training your front and side. However, if you just care about getting big, you might want to focus more on your arms. You might want to put your arms in the beginning of the session. But this is just a generalization. So front delts, and then back, and then biceps, triceps. What else do we got? Legs. And I'm pretty sure that's all. So for chest, what I suggest is you do some type of incline press. So incline dumbbells is a really nice one. Incline dumbbells. Side delts, we have just a dumbbell side lateral raise. For front delt, we have dumbbell front raise. For your back, we have pull-ups or lat pull downs if you can't do pull-ups. Pull downs. For your biceps, we have just bicep curls. For your triceps, we have tricep push down. And for your legs, we have a leg press. Take a screenshot just so you can hold it for yourself. Now, these are exercises that are perfectly fine and they work very effectively. Honestly, these are my preferred exercises. However, everybody can specify if you have something else that you'd like to do, you can always add that. Yet again, this is your program, not mine.
Just to be very clear, rest in between sets should be as followed. Rest 1 minute before going to another body part. Then warm up, rest for 1 more minute, then start the set. If you're going to stay with the same muscle, then rest for 3 minutes. If the set was really taxing on you, then rest for 4 or 5 minutes.
Now that you know how much you need to rest and the exact workout to follow, the set and reps, just so I'm very clear about this, 1 set for 8 to 12 reps per muscle group with a 1 minute rest in between. Now, you might have seen my other videos where I talk about how 3 minutes to 5 minutes rest are more effective, and you might be asking yourself, well, why the hell are you saying 1 minute now? This is just because you're switching muscle groups, you don't need to be resting for 5 to 10 minutes. You don't need to be resting for 3 to 5 minutes. Since a new muscle group is still fresh, so you just, that 1 minute is just to honestly just catch your breath, relax your nervous system, and to be able to continue forward. So that is the program side of things. Now, like I said, 3-day split. It's easy for anybody to follow, and you could genuinely knock this out within 30 minutes. If you're really rushing, I don't recommend you do this. Keep it to like an hour. And please don't give me the excuse that you don't even have an hour of your day, okay? I know for a fact that some of you go home and you watch Netflix, all right? You watch Netflix, you binge watch 2 episodes of something, and you go to sleep. Those 2 episodes could get you into the best shape of your life, but you're wasting it. So please, this is for dedicated people. Do not waste your time telling me that you don't have time to go to the gym for an hour. Obviously, get a gym membership. And if you're somebody who, doesn't like gyms, wants to work out at home, yet again, my program, I custom make it, even if you can't go to the gym. So now we're going to be talking about your diet, okay? First, you need to see where you're at, okay? If you are fat already, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Now, I have many videos where I'm going more in depth, so I'm going to give you guys the quick run through about what a calorie deficit is, what a calorie surplus is, and how to find out what you need to do. So if you're fat, go into a calorie deficit. If you're skinny, and I'm talking about skinny with like you can see some of your bones, you're going to go into a calorie surplus, okay? Dieting is super easy, okay? I don't want you to be tricked by a lot of fitness influencers who are just trying to sell you a program where they tell you shit like, oh yeah, you won't be able to diet unless you have this secret thing. No, dieting is so easy, okay? For a calorie deficit, if you're overweight, all you have to do is go to this website. Listen, I am not sponsored by this website. I love promoting it because genuinely this is the first website that I ever used that helped me see results. It's just a simple thing. It's not too complicated. Anybody has access to it. It's a free website after all, no ads. So it's like, it would be kind of dumb for you not to use it. So you go into the calorie calculator, you enter in all your stats, and then it'll tell you how many calories you need to eat in order for you to lose weight. So from there, you're gonna pick the 2 pounds of fat per week. This is because I recommend that you lose weight faster and more aggressively, so that way you can get out of that fat loss period and be able to start building more muscle. So if you're a beginner, you can build muscle while losing fat. However, if you've trained before or something like that, it's probably better for you to lose the fat first and then start going to a calorie surplus. Now, the reason why we want to lose fat right now and not like just focus on building pure muscle is because we want to get you into good shape first. All right, you can't go around the gym looking like a tub of lard, and then like you just won't be able to see the muscle that you put on from this program. So we're gonna get you to lose weight. You can genuinely change the way you look completely, like I have, if you stick to a diet for, I'd say, like 2 months. But once you do that, you go into MyFitnessPal, and keep in mind this also is correlated to bulking. You go into MyFitnessPal, and then from there you're gonna enter in the stats again, and then you're gonna go to goals, and you're gonna adjust it to the exact calories that the calorie calculator told you. And from there, all you're gonna do is track what you eat every day. Now, you might be forgetful. Obviously, I'm not expecting you to be perfect, but my few pointers are: 1, stick to foods with a nutrition label or foods that you can track. Don't eat, like, for example, like Papa John's pizza or something that you don't know how many calories are there. 2, try fasting throughout the day, especially if you're somebody that eats a lot. If you fast, like for example, the first 6 hours that you're awake, when it comes time for you to eat, there'll be such a small window that like that first big meal that you eat will keep you full probably until the next day. So just keep that in mind. And then number 3 is switching into more healthier alternatives. For example, I like bringing this a lot. This whole thing of Diet Pepsi has less calories than a slice of cheese. A slice of cheese has like 50 calories. So you can genuinely drink as much as you want of this, especially if you're busy, and it'll help kill your food cravings. Also, coffee. I've recently been experimenting with it. Coffee really does kill the appetite. I'm surprised I didn't try this before. So those are 3 things, like little tips that you can keep in mind when it comes to losing weight. And then all you have to do is track it consistently. Consistency matters, and so does tracking. And don't fall into the trap of, oh, you can have cheat days. You can have cheat meals. Okay, cheat days can set you back months worth of progress, because if you're in a calorie deficit, your weekly amount of calories that you eat, which is something that you don't really have to know unless you're planning on doing cheat meals, the weekly amount of calories that you can eat, let's say for example, it's 3,000 in order for you to lose 2 pounds that week, right? Or 30,000, I mean. No, like 10,000 calories if you're eating for that week. If you have a 10,000 calorie cheat meal, then you just wasted that whole week. So what I like to do is I like to plan my cheat meals, and then on the day that I want to eat it, I make sure that my calories, like I'm not eating anything throughout the rest of the day, so I can enjoy the thing that I really want while not having to go with perfect discipline and not be able to have any cheat meals. I, for example, just had like a cookie that's 500 calories, you know what I mean? But I was able to fit that into my calories because I fasted throughout the day, and I planned it essentially. Like I knew I wasn't going to eat as much today if I could just have that cookie, but it's something I've been wanting. And then when it comes to building muscle, what you're going to want to do is go into a calorie surplus. It's the same steps as what I just told you, except for the fact that for the calorie surplus, you're going to choose gaining half a pound of weight per week. This is because we don't want you to get fat. We want you to get more muscle. And if you're getting too much weight, you're going to gain fat. But if you're getting just enough weight, you'll see more muscle than you'll see fat. And then follow the same steps as before. Now, like I told you in the beginning of this video, this is a simple guide. However, this might be challenging for you if you're the type of person to make excuses. But if you've watched this far into the video, I'm quite sure that you're not the type of person to be making excuses, and you're genuinely interested in changing your life, which is why I'm willing to give you all this information for free. A lot of people, they'd probably already clicked off the video just because their attention span is so fried that I wasn't able to keep them engaged enough, despite the fact that I am still editing the video and stuff. So the fact that you're still here shows me that you are dedicated, and for that, I'm going to be giving you as much free information as I possibly can, and I'm not going to be withholding anything back. Step number 3. So now that you know the type of workouts you need to do, the type of diet you need to do, and the diet, you have to be consistent with it. A diet is a everyday thing, okay? Please do not think that, oh yeah, I'm going to diet for a week, and if I don't lose weight, there's no progress. It takes a month to see significant progress. It takes a week to see noticeable progress. Just keep that in mind. unless if you're very overweight. Then it's gonna take you a little bit longer for you to see progress. However, my friend, you got yourself into this position, get yourself out of it. Now, this step is very important, but I completely understand if, because you're so busy, you're dealing with like restraints and things like that nature, but allocate more time to sleep, okay? A lot of people neglect their sleep, especially if they're busy. And you know what's crazy? A lot of the times you guys neglect your sleep because you just want to watch another episode of like something. And I completely understand this. The reason why we as humans stay up late, it's not because you're a night owl. It's because you were so busy during the day that your only sense of freedom can be reclaimed at night. So you try to maximize it, which ends up fucking up your next day. And then it's just this endless cycle of getting your day fucked up. I completely understand that need to like take your time back. Especially from your busy corporate job or something. But luckily for you, this plan gives you rest days. So allow yourself to use those rest days to do whatever you want after work. However, on the days of your workouts, you need to be locked in, you need to work out, and you need to go to sleep. Make this very clear to your wife or your kids or something like that. Tell them that you are locking in. You need to fully dedicate yourself into becoming a better version of yourself, because in reality, bro, like, if you stay out of shape a couple months from now, your wife is going to see somebody more attractive than you and she's going to get turned on by them. It doesn't matter what you've done for her. It doesn't matter how much you've worked. It doesn't matter how much she loves you. Just the fact that like you're out of shape and you're more unattractive than you were when you guys first started dating is enough for her to like see that handsome young man, and then like she won't say anything, but like she'll glance at him for like 3 seconds longer than she should, or like she'll see him looking and she'll look at him too, and she'll like hit him with a smile. Like, you do not want to be in that position ever. So explain to anybody that, you know, gets in the way of your life that you need to focus. This is a period of locking in and you need to change your life. And if they can't understand that, fuck them, honestly. So sleep. So got a little derailed, but sleep. Allocate 8 hours minimum, 10 hours at best for sleep, okay? This means going to bed earlier and allowing yourself to be in that disciplined state of just being like, okay, it's 10 o'clock, go to bed. I have to wake up at 8. 10 o'clock, go to bed. Now, the reason why I say this is because sleep is so important, okay? I don't know if you guys know this, but the person who sleeps versus the person who doesn't sleep, there's a steroid-like difference. This basically means that, like, if you're here not sleeping and you're compared to like the version of you that does sleep, his results will seem like he's on steroids compared to you. That is how important sleep is. And also, it fucks up your cognitive functions. You probably can't even think straight, because they found in a study that the average person who is sleep deprived actually has the same amount of cognitive functions as a drunk person. So sleep is the most important thing. I myself have struggled with this in the past, but I've been able to get into a constant habit of being able to sleep on time. And honestly, it's changed my life. Like my productivity is high. I'm able to be clear focused. I'm able to create videos like this. I'm able to focus on my clients. Like, everything is amazing. And it just took a little bit of discipline in order for me to sit there and be like, you know what, man? If sleep is the number one factor in my life that's holding me back, I need to man up and just go to sleep, okay? Watching that extra episode of Netflix is not worth it. If you have to cancel that damn subscription, cancel it. But we want you to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night. And then do this consistently. I'm telling you, this will genuinely be the biggest change, life change, honestly. So now that you have these 3 steps, I want you to take those into consideration, and you need to start applying tomorrow, okay? If you wait any longer than tomorrow, you're not going to take any steps up towards this video. You're just going to sit there, you're mentally masturbating about the idea of going to the gym, and then you're just going to end up fucking staying fat for the rest of your life. Take action right now. If you have to fucking call the gym right now and get a membership, do that. If you have to schedule an appointment at the gym right now, do it. If you have to call up your homie and be like, hey bro, we have to go to the gym, just so you hold yourself more accountable, do it, bro. Take action now. The more you stall, the more you're gonna waste time, okay? If you fucking, listen to me, if you see this video and you fucking watch another video after this before taking any type of action, you are gonna fail, okay? You need to genuinely take this seriously, take action right now, and implement everything you learned. I don't care if you have to fucking rewatch this video and take notes or screenshots or whatever you need to do. Start now. Now, if you think it's not worth the hassle of you having to go through the whole process of like figuring out everything you need to figure out, like the extra stuff, for example, like which exercise you'd prefer, simply hire me as a personal trainer and I will give you a step-by-step playbook guide that has the blueprint of how you can succeed. I have two options. It's the personal training or it's the workout program. It's up to you, whichever one you want. I have a link in the description detailing everything, but please, at the very least, take something away from this video and get started right now.